Good news, everybody. The Triller lawsuit against H3H3 has officially been dropped. For those of you who don't know, H3 was sued by the broadcasters of the Jake Paul vs. Ben Askren fight for admitting to piracy and showing a bit of the fight on his podcast. If you want to learn more about it, I have a video talking about it more in depth that I uploaded a few days ago, but it doesn't really matter now because the lawsuit has been dropped. Here's what lawyer YouTuber Emily D. Baker had to say about it.
Where there is misjoinder, the court can generally dismiss all but the first named defendants without prejudice to the institution of new separate lawsuits against the dropped defendants. Accordingly, the court thus drops all defendants except filmdaily.com. This order does not limit plaintiff's ability to refile its claims against the remaining defendants in separate actions. It is so ordered. Therein, H3H3 is not being sued because the court has dropped them as a defendant. So at this moment, the only defendant in this lawsuit is Film Daily.
If you want to see her full coverage, I'll leave the link to it in the description below. But before news of the lawsuit being dropped came out, H3 responded to the lawsuit on his podcast H3 After Dark. Here is what he had to say about it.
Triller is suing us for copyright infringement. So they're suing all these people, and there's been people who re-uploaded the fight to YouTube for a bunch of people to watch, and they're suing them. And so they've lumped me in here. What I can only determine is out of spite. First of all, my coverage of the fight was totally fair use. I showed 45 seconds of Jake knocking out Ben and commented over the whole thing nonstop. They should know, and you guys all know, there's been one fair use lawsuit that's been won, and it was by us. So on the fair use aspect, it's easy.
It's a bullshit claim, really.
Totally.
On the fair use.
Yeah, that's why I think it's like a spite, because, you know, we've been talking about the allegations against Jake Paul covered by the New York Times. I don't think it's a coincidence that of all the people in the world that have talked about this fight, that we are somehow singled out. Because in the lawsuit and the press were like, they're like, this guy, H3. It's like, okay, really? Like, there's plenty of people that have been showing this fight.
Especially when they talk about rebroadcasting. That's not something we did.
So that's the other leg of this lawsuit, is that there's like the fair use. I'm not quite sure what exactly they're suing us for either, because it's a huge list of people they're suing. Then they added like an amended complaint, which is like part 2 of a lawsuit, and that's when they added us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why it was confusing, because I looked at the original website or the lawsuit and I was like, I'm not on this. What are they talking about? And then at the bottom of the amended complaint, which is when they added more defendants, I don't know if it's a fair use thing or if it's a rebroadcast thing, because the other thing is that like we do this thing where whenever we talk about content on this channel, our procedure is to download it, unlist it on a random channel, and put it in my document, because oftentimes videos get erased, and it's not good when we're doing like a live show to click a link and it's dead. It's not meant for public consumption, obviously. It's for internal use of the podcast only. The link is unlisted, you know, so it was never broadcast, in my opinion, and was only for internal use. So they're like trying to accuse me of broadcasting in the same scope as like these pirating websites. So I was like, well, obviously that's bullshit too.
Yeah.
We didn't rebroadcast your fight. I just want to resolve this in mediation with them. I don't want to go to litigation with them.
So wait, I'm confused, because I had heard from a really reliable source that you were going to jail for 5 years.
Oh, yeah, Keemstar is tap dancing all over Twitter that I'm going to jail.
I thought for sure you were going to the big house.
Oh, and then he goes, God, can you guys actually pull up some of that? Because I feel like the Keemstar aspect is the funniest part of this. He's been tap dancing that I'm going to jail. First of all, it's a civil lawsuit, dumb fuck. I'm not going to jail for a civil lawsuit. He's so desperate for me to go to jail and ruin my life that he wants to live in a world where you can go to jail for watching a video, something that he does every day. Didn't he say on his podcast, he goes, the max damages per stream is 150,000 for pirated. That's the max damage. So he goes, okay, and his podcast has 1 million views. So he goes, here's how much Ethan's going to owe. 150 billion. Ethan is going to owe Triller $150 billion. I was like, holy shit, even Bill Gates' ex-wife isn't going to be able to afford that. We filmed an episode on Wednesday, which was like my kind of snap reaction to the lawsuit, let's say.
There was a snap for sure.
I hadn't discussed with my lawyers yet.
And I wasn't there, and it was Ethan.
It was off the rails.
Off the rails.
And it was off the rails.
Officially.
So it'll be the lost episode of the H3 podcast.
I know.
Maybe we can release it someday once everything's settled.
Yeah, it depends on what happens, but it depends on how mediation goes. But we can release it.
It's too bad because it was a funny one.
And it's approved by YouTube. Yeah. And I used some strong language in that, boy. I was like, wow, YouTube gave it the green light. I was like, wow, they must hate Jake Paul too. Because I said some fucking horrible things in that shit. I've seen lots of people apparently who don't like me just celebrating that I'm going to jail. Well, Keemstar and all of his like lackeys, they're all like, yeah, copyright infringement, people should go to jail for that. They're like, cool. They're like, oh, it's happening to Ethan? Yeah, I believe copyright infringement should go to jail. People who spend their whole fucking lives using the fair use case that I fucking sweat and died for. You know what I mean? Oh, there's one Keemstar thing, though, that I think y'all got to see before I move on. Because he's in such a rush to tap dance on my grave, he put out his desktop. Now, if you want to know what a serial killer Keemstar is, you'll notice the folders. H3H3 crimes.
Oh, it says crimes?
Yeah. It literally says H3H3 crimes. And in the video, he opened it, and it's just the footage from the podcast episode. So it's
crime.
Like, it's a crime.
He's like, dear FBI, I've sent you a zip detailing extreme cyber crimes. Pyro. It's like he's still got a chip on his shoulder over Pyro. I mean, dude, you are psychotic.
Isn't that drama from like 2016
yes,
or something?
Trisha, of course.
Trisha.
And then, but here's the most
I don't know what you're talking
sick
about.
fucking shit. Etika.
Oh, God.
A folder.
Yeah.
About Etika on his desktop. A YouTuber that he bullied, essentially, into unaliving himself. 2 years ago. That is like Dexter. He is like a serial killer. He has memorabilia from this incident. Why would he have a folder dedicated to Etika, a man who's been deceased for 2 years?
You know, every normal person has a folder of their best friend on their desktop, right? They're just really good friends.
Right. That's what Keem would always say. Yeah.
I mean, I honestly sent shivers down my fucking spine.
Super creepy.
When I saw.
And people called him out, and he deleted this tweet.
Yeah, he deleted
he
tweet.
Realized he fucked up.
GameCube. Oh, should I play GameCube? Oh, by the way, GameCube folder, could that possibly be like
an emulator?
Is this an emulator?
Oh, that's a good point.
Do you understand how illegal that is?
That is copyright infringement. And look at the bottom in the middle. 4K video downloader. That's to rip videos.
Oh, no.
I think that's like life in prison.
I need to make a folder on my desktop of Keemstar crimes. And this video's in it. GameCube, how many games do you think he has in there? That's $150,000 and 5 years for each title. You know, I'm making jokes about the theft because it's so stupid, but the etiquette thing is truly so disturbing.
Deranged.
I don't even want to go to such a heavy thing.
Why? So and like, you know, this is like this horrible thing that happened in the YouTube community and space that we all are like, let's just, you know, let's just move on, you know, and try to like just let the guy rest in peace. And Keemstar is one of those people. Yet he is every day he starts up his computer and looks at this Etika folder. And there's not a lot of stuff on his desktop, too. He keeps it tidy, right? This is a desktop that, like, is neatly manicured.
It's so empty other than, like, his kill orders. It's like 1 bullet for Trisha, 1 bullet for H3H3. You know, like in...
Unbiased news.
In Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, he writes the name on the bullet.
The name on the bullet.
Dude, this guy is truly sick in the head,
and the rest is the black void.
Wait, guys, what is that? Dude, it's the Bobax folder. Wait, dude, I'm on the list. Holy shit. If Keemstar ever tries to expose me, we know he's been planning this. He has the Bobax folder right there. Dude, I'm next. Holy shit. Anyways, so fucking dumb. So the reason that folder is there is because a couple days before his desktop leaked, I made a critical yet fairly lighthearted tweet towards Keemstar, and he didn't take it very well, later threatening to end my career in a Discord call. And I'm assuming he made that folder to start collecting evidence. Luckily, there's only 1 file in it, so I don't think I'm in that much trouble. Regardless, regardless, I don't really care that much. I just think it's kind of funny that he made that folder in the first place. So all water under the bridge from my perspective. Anyways, Keemstar reacted to the H3 podcast episode when he tweeted out, Ethan Klein accused me of murder last week. Again. Slandered me about every drama I have ever been in. Basically said my daughter should be taken from me. I do not feel sorry for Ethan. Why would I? You have been trying to destroy my life for years. He then makes a Twitter video titled, H3H3 down bad after being caught in 4K.
You can't be serious, okay? Okay, I got around to watching what, Ethan Klein, H3H3 had to say about, him being sued by Triller for pirating the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight and rebroadcasting the Ben Askren versus Jake Paul fight. And, he was basically saying, I can't believe that the commentators, Keemstar's, all his buddies, all his little lackeys, I can't believe that they're jumping up and down supporting the fact that I'm going to prison because they rely on fair use, something that I did. I gave fair use to the world, because of his first lawsuit. Yeah, bro, I'm sorry. How do I break this down to you? When you won the fair lawsuit, case that didn't give you the fucking right to pirate pay-per-view events, this is like, dude, back in the day, H3H3 and Hila, you were the good guys. You did stuff for the community. We applauded you. We donated money. I gave you $2,000, Ethan, to fight the first lawsuit you were involved in. This is completely different, all right? YouTube boxing is a very important event that happens here on YouTube. It helps the whole ecosphere of the community, right? The event happens, we all watch it, we all talk about it, we make videos on it. It's like a great thing. Why are you pirating it? Why are you promoting the idea of pirating? Why are you rebroadcasting it? You didn't have to do any of this nonsense. It doesn't make sense. It's so stupid. And it's not fair. I don't see how it's fair use. I don't get it. I don't think it's fair use. No. And why are you bragging to people? Like, okay, these YouTubers are risking their career. They're risking being a meme. They're working out every day in the gym, all right, to go in the ring and to entertain us, right? And it provides all this content for us. And you're saying, don't buy the pay-per-view? Don't support them, even if you can't afford the pay-per-view, right? Even if you can't afford it. You're going to get enough free content from the people that run the fights on Twitter. There's no reason for that.
Slightly unblended response to Keem's video by saying, this dude, a whole victim-blaming cyberbully doxer, a mental health isn't real head ass, a whole mess, like stop. If you don't like H3, then why keep up with them? Wouldn't that be exhausting? How do you have the energy to constantly talk shit about them? Keemstar quote tweets her and says, you can't be serious. He spent the last 2 weeks talking about me non-stop. I am responding. My stance on mental health in the past was wrong, and I have addressed this many times. But you don't know that, do you? Cause your source is Ethan Klein, the man trying to ruin my life for years. Every time I respond with facts and logic, they delete. I might as well keep it up, so they stop spamming BS at me. That dude G-Bus responds to Keem by saying, how about all those copyrighted games on your desktop? I know you didn't buy GameCube games on your computer, but go ahead and catch yourself an 8K, dumbass, at Nintendo. Keemstar then responds with the Twitter video titled, try again, motherfucker.
Hey guys, I've been getting a lot of tweets from H3H3's fans saying that, I'm just as bad as H3H3 because I pirated video games. They saw on my desktop that I had GameCube games, and they saw on my desktop that I had N64 games. And they're saying, I stole them because I don't own them. Or maybe I fucking do. Or maybe I fucking have the entire GameCube library. The entire N64. What are you saying? Try again, motherfucker. Try again.
And then in response to H3's reaction to Keemstar's desktop, Keemstar ended up dropping a screenshot of his desktop as an NFT. Unfortunately, it's missing a few features like the Ball Blacks folder, but it's pretty hilarious nonetheless. If you guys wanted to get it though, it's unfortunately sold out, so you missed your chance. But what you haven't missed your chance for is to keep updated on this H3 versus Keemstar drama by subscribing to this channel with notifications on. We are over 30 videos into this beef, so there's pretty much no chance that I won't end up having to make another Keemstar versus H3 video. I'd also like to thank my channel members for supporting the channel, in particular Scrubby, who has donated $100 a month. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.